Welcome to Screen Hollywood, the home of movie news and entertainment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Vampires. They're stylish, seductive, and dangerous. From the dawn of cinema, these bloodsuckers have been captivating audiences. But today, we're asking the question, who's the coolest vampire villain of all time? You're watching Screen Hollywood, and we've got the definitive countdown of the top vampires who've blended their dark side with style, power, and charisma. Ready to dive into the world of immortal coolness? Let's get started. Hey everyone. Welcome back to Screen Hollywood. If you're new here, hit the like and subscribe button. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that has fascinated horror fans for decades: vampires. Specifically, we're ranking the coolest vampire villains to ever grace the big screen. These are the vampires who not only had power but style, charisma, and a certain je ne sais quoi. From classic monsters to modern anti-heroes, we've carefully curated this list to reflect the most stylish, sophisticated, and downright dangerous vampires. Are you ready? Let's jump right in with number 6. Coming in, we have Seline, the beautiful, fierce, and deadly vampire warrior from Underworld, portrayed by Kate Beckinsale. Now, Seline might be more of an anti-hero than a villain, but she's undeniably cool. Let's break down why. Seline is a highly trained death dealer, which means she's not just your average vampire. She's a lethal weapon designed to hunt and destroy lycans, their werewolf enemies. What makes her stand out isn't just her combat prowess, though let's be honest, she's one of the fiercest fighters on this list, but it's her style, elegance, and adaptability. What makes Seline cool isn't just her fighting skills or her icy demeanor. It's her ability to navigate both the human world and the vampire underworld. When necessary, she can blend in, go undercover, and manipulate situations to her advantage, all while maintaining that signature sleek look. And let's not forget, Seline's all-black leather outfit became iconic, turning her into a goth fashion icon. Seline embodies grace under fire. She's cold, calculating, and deadly. But beneath all that, there's a vulnerability that makes her more than just a killing machine. She's battling her own personal demons, and it's that complexity that elevates her from a simple action hero to one of the coolest vampires ever. She's the ultimate embodiment of style meets substance. Next up, number 5, we have the vampire who started it all, Dracula, as portrayed by the legendary Gary Oldman in Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992. Now, Dracula may be one of the most powerful vampires in existence. After all, he's the original. But there's a reason he doesn't take the top spot on this list. First, let's talk power. Dracula is not just a vampire, he's a force of nature. He commands legions, transforms into a wolf, mist, and even a giant bat. He's lived for centuries, and his thirst for revenge and lost love gives him a depth that few vampire villains can match. But here's the catch. Despite his power, Dracula is spiritually lost. He's disconnected from the world he once ruled, trapped in a time that is long past. While Dracula exudes old-world charm, his vintage sense of style doesn't quite resonate with the modern world in the same way some of the other vampires on this list do. He's aristocratic, cloaked in layers of history, and while that's compelling, it also isolates him. He's more of a tragic figure, powerful, yes, but emotionally distant and spiritually adrift. However, despite this, the Screen Hollywood team would like to give a nod to Claes Bang's portrayal of Dracula in the 2020 BBC remake. Claes brought a modern edge to the character, blending the traditional allure of Dracula with a more contemporary, stylish twist. This version of Dracula was smooth, calculating, and effortlessly cool, able to charm anyone, even his enemies. This adaptation of Dracula is as powerful as ever, and blends into the modern world effortlessly. Claes's Dracula almost deserves to be on this list more than Oldman's, but we couldn't ignore the sheer impact of the 1992 classic. At number 4, we've got the one and only Lestat de Lioncourt, as portrayed by Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire, 1994. Now, Lestat is the kind of vampire who loves being a vampire. He's not hiding in the shadows, he's living life to the fullest, reveling in his immortality and his power. But there's more to Lestat than just his charm and good looks. Lestat is a master manipulator. He's charismatic, charming, and knows exactly how to get under your skin, figuratively and literally. His relationship with Louis is central to his character, and throughout the film we see just how much he enjoys playing mind games with his companions. He's dangerous because he's unpredictable. One minute he's your best friend, and the next, he's feeding on you. But let's not forget Lestat's sense of style. Whether he's dressed in 18th century finery or hunting in the swamps of New Orleans, Lestat owns every scene he's in. He's the epitome of vampire cool, blending high society elegance with raw predatory power. And unlike some of the older vampires on this list, Lestat is very much engaged with the world around him. He thrives on human interaction and knows how to manipulate those relationships to his advantage. Interview with the Vampire is my all-time favorite vampire movie, swamped with an all-star cast and a tremendous performance by Tom Cruise, which brought Lestat to life on the big screen. He did Anne Rice proud. Lestat is a vampire who enjoys his immortality. He's not burdened by it, and that's what makes him so dangerous. He's cool, he's cunning, and he's always one step ahead. That's why Lestat de Liancourt lands firmly at number 4. Before we move on, we would like to do an honorary mention of Damon Salvatore from The Vampire Diaries. Damon, played by Ian Somerhalder, is the ultimate bad boy vampire. He's sarcastic, charming, and has that devil-may-care attitude that makes him irresistible. Throughout the series, Damon walks the fine line between villain and anti-hero, and that's what makes him so fascinating. He's capable of great cruelty, but he's also driven by deep emotions, particularly his love for Elena. What really sets Damon apart is his dynamic with his brother Stefan. Their love-hate relationship adds layers to Damon's character, and his constant internal struggle between his darker impulses and his humanity keeps viewers hooked. He may not be the most powerful vampire, but his personality and wit make him one of the coolest, and a good addition to the list. At number 3, we've got David from The Lost Boys, 1987, played by Kiefer Sutherland. Now, David is the definition of 1980s vampire cool. He's got that punk rock vibe, the leather jacket, the bleached blonde hair. But beyond his rebellious style, David is a force to be reckoned with. David is the leader of a gang of teenage vampires, and what makes him so terrifying is how much he enjoys it. He's not lurking in the shadows, hiding from the world. He's out there, embracing his vampiric nature and causing absolute chaos. And the fact that he does it all with a smirk on his face makes him even more dangerous. David is a master manipulator, much like Lestat. But where Lestat revels in luxury, David revels in destruction. He's not interested in high society. He's interested in power and control, and he'll do whatever it takes to get it. His ability to blend his rebellious rock and roll attitude with the ferocity of a predator is what makes him such an unforgettable villain. David may seem laid back, but when it's time to fight, he's vicious. He's cool because he's unbothered by the consequences of his actions. He's there to enjoy the ride, and anyone who gets in his way is in serious trouble. Plus, let's be honest, his style and attitude made him an icon for vampire fans everywhere. Before we move on to number 2, we would like to make an honorary mention, Eric Northman from True Blood, portrayed by Alexander Skarsgård. Eric is a 1,000-year-old Viking vampire who exudes power and confidence. What makes Eric so cool is his quiet, calculated approach to everything. He doesn't need to be loud or flashy. His presence alone commands attention. But there's more to Eric than just his ruthless ambition. Throughout the True Blood series, we see a softer, more vulnerable side of him, especially when it comes to his relationship with Sookie. This duality makes Eric one of the most compelling vampires in TV history. He's got style, power, and depth, everything you need to be considered cool in the vampire world. And at number 2, yes, it's the iconic Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night, 1985. Portrayed by the talented Chris Sarandon, Jerry is the ultimate cool vampire villain. With his suave demeanor and sinister charm, Jerry has the ability to seamlessly blend into suburban life while hiding his monstrous nature. Along with seduction, Jerry is the master of deception. looking like your typical charming neighbor while secretly being a powerful, ancient vampire. He's a master manipulator, and what makes him truly terrifying is his ability to balance both charm and horror. Plus, he's been around for thousands of years, which means his wisdom and power are unparalleled. Jerry's classic horror appeal, combined with his 1980s coolness, easily earns him the second spot on our list. Chris Sarandon was born to play this part, and he effortlessly brought this vampire to life with his classic good looks and mysterious presence, along with his ability to almost magically glide through every scene. Thanks for making it to the end, and now for the coolest vampire villain of all time. This slot goes to the one and only Deacon Frost from Blade, 1998, played by Stephen Dorff. Why does Deacon take the top spot? Let's break it down. First off, Deacon Frost is a visionary. He's not just a vampire looking to survive, he's looking to revolutionize the vampire world. He's tired of the old vampire order and wants to usher in a new era where vampires rule over humans. That's true ambition. But it's not just what Deacon wants, it's how he goes about it. He's cool, calm, and collected, always in control, always one step ahead. Deacon doesn't just blend into human society, he thrives in it. He lives like a rock star, with a penthouse, impeccable Gucci style, with a sprinkle of Valentino, a huge vampire following, along with humans that want to join his elite club and become vampires. And let's not forget the beautiful women and nightlife that any influencer would kill for. If Deacon Frost were around today, he'd probably have over 60 million Instagram followers and be throwing parties in Miami and Beverly Hills. He's the perfect fusion of power, style, and rebellion. But Frost isn't just about style and hot women. He's got substance too. When push comes to shove, he's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's willing to go up against both Blade and the vampire elders, showing that he's not afraid to take on the toughest opponents. And when he transforms into the Blood God, he becomes an unstoppable force. Deacon Frost is the epitome of cool at every level because he's always in control. And even in the face of defeat, he remains charismatic and stylish. This guy is the James Dean of vampires, but a rebel with a cause. Despite not being the most powerful vampire in this list, he's the only vampire that radiates entrepreneurship, future thinking, strategic drive without fear. Unafraid to push boundaries and venture into the unknown, Frost effortlessly amassed a following like no other vampire. With the resources of wealth, power, and a lifestyle straight out of a fashion magazine, Deacon Frost wasn't just a villain. He was the first vampire of his kind in cinema, a vampire who knew how to move through the human world effortlessly. That's why he's number one on our list. What do you think? Leave your comments below. And there you have it. The top 6 coolest vampire villains ever, with Deacon Frost taking the crown. Do you agree with our list? Did we miss any iconic vampires you think deserve to be included in the list or top spot? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.